Let me ask you something that might hurt. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and actually felt proud of who you were becoming? Not the person you pretend to be on social media, not the version of yourself you show your friends, but the real you, the one who knows every promise you've broken to yourself, every morning you've wasted, every dream you've let slip away because it felt too hard, too scary, too impossible. I know that feeling because 3 years ago, I was drowning in my own mediocrity and I didn't even know it. I thought I was just going through a phase, but the truth, I was dying slowly, one wasted day at a time. And if you keep watching, I'm going to share the 5 brutally simple routines that pulled me out of that hell. Routines that Jordan Peterson himself has taught, not the comfortable advice you want to hear, but the hard truth you need to hear. Because here's what nobody tells you. Your life won't change when you feel like it. It changes when you're finally sick enough of your own excuses. So let me take you back to where it all began. It was 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday night in February 2022. I remember the exact time because I couldn't sleep, again. I was lying there in the dark, phone in hand, scrolling through other people's highlight reels, their vacations, their relationships, their successes, while my own life felt like a series of almosts and not quites. I was 26 years old, no career direction, relationships that never lasted, a body I was ashamed of, and this constant gnawing feeling that I was supposed to be more than this. You know that feeling? When you're not necessarily depressed, but you're just empty, going through the motions. Clock in, clock out. Watch some Netflix, eat some junk, sleep, repeat. Jordan Peterson calls this living in chaos without meaning. Peterson says, you're going to pay a price for every bloody thing you do and everything you don't do. You don't get to choose to not pay a price. You get to choose which poison you're going to take. That night I chose a different poison. I decided that if I was going to suffer anyway, and we all do, then I might as well suffer while building something meaningful rather than suffering while rotting away. So I started small, stupidly small, embarrassingly small. I started with 5 simple routines, and I'm not exaggerating when I say they changed absolutely everything. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away, hear me out. Peterson's first rule in 12 Rules for Life is stand up straight with your shoulders back. But let me add something to that. Start your day by conquering something small. Every morning, the first battle you face is with your bed. And I know what you're thinking. A bed? Really? That's your life-changing advice? Yes, because here's the psychology behind it. Your brain doesn't distinguish between big wins and small wins in the moment. It just registers win or loss. When you wake up and immediately make your bed, corners tight, pillows arranged, blanket smooth, you've won your first battle before 7 a.m. You've created order from chaos. And Peterson talks about this constantly. If you can't even clean up your own room, who the hell are you to give advice to the world? It sounds harsh. It is harsh. But it's true, and he's right. Because here's what I realized at 2:47 a.m. that night. I wasn't living. I was just not dying. There's a massive difference. I had become so comfortable in my discomfort that I'd forgotten what it felt like to actually want something, to fight for something, to stand for something. Started making my bed every single morning, no matter what. Hangover? Make the bed. Late for work? Make the bed. Heartbroken? Make the bed. And something shifted. Because when you come home after a brutal day, after your boss yelled at you, after that person didn't text you back, after you felt like a failure, you walk into your room and see something you accomplished, something ordered, something controlled, something that says, I'm not completely lost. It's not about the bed. It's about proving to yourself that you can still win, even when everything else is falling apart. Your action step. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you scroll, before you do anything, make your bed perfectly, like a soldier, like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. This one's going to hurt. Peterson's 8th rule, tell the truth, or at least don't lie, but let me go deeper. Most of us aren't lying to other people. We're lying to ourselves. We say we want to be healthy, but we eat garbage. We say we want a relationship, but we don't work on becoming the kind of person someone would want to be with. We say we want success, but we spend 4 hours a day on TikTok. Every day, I started a routine called the Truth Journal. 5 minutes, that's it. I'd sit down with a notebook and write 3 things. 1. What did I lie to myself about yesterday? 2. What am I afraid to admit right now? 3. What's one truth I need to act on today? And let me tell you, this routine destroyed me at first. Because when you actually sit down and confront your own BS, it's brutal. I had to write things like, I'm not lonely because I'm unlucky. I'm lonely because I push people away when they get too close. I'm not stuck in my career. I'm scared to try because failing would prove I'm not special. I'm not just tired. I'm hiding from my own potential. Peterson says, you're not everything you could be, and you know it. That sentence haunted me. Because it's true. Deep down, you know you're capable of more. You know you're playing small. You know you're hiding. And the only way forward is to stop lying about it. When I started telling myself the truth, when I stopped making excuses, stopped blaming circumstances, stopped pretending I was a victim, everything changed. Because you cannot fix what you won't acknowledge. Your action step. Tonight, grab a notebook. Write down one truth you've been avoiding. Just one. The scariest one. The one that makes your stomach turn. And then tomorrow, do something about it. Peterson talks about the concept of slaying the dragon. In every myth, every story, every hero's journey, there's a dragon, a monster, a thing that terrifies you. And the hero's job isn't to avoid it, it's to confront it. In your daily life, that dragon is whatever task you're most afraid of. The difficult conversation, the project you've been avoiding, the phone call that makes you anxious, the workout you keep skipping, the creative work you're scared to start. I created what I call Dragon Hour. Every single morning before I check my emails, before I scroll social media, before I do anything comfortable, I spend 1 hour doing the thing I'm most afraid of. For me, at first, it was writing. I wanted to be a writer, but I was terrified. Terrified of being bad. Terrified of being judged. Terrified of proving that I wasn't talented enough. So every morning at 6 a.m., I'd sit down and write for 1 hour. Even when it was garbage. Even when I wanted to quit. Even when my brain screamed at me to do literally anything else. Peterson says, you should do what you're afraid to do. You should think, what is it that would justify my life? And then you should do it. And here's the magic. The thing you're most afraid of is usually the thing that will change your life the most. Because fear is a compass. It points directly toward your growth. When I started conquering my dragon every morning, something incredible happened. The rest of my day felt easy. Because if you can do the hardest thing first, everything else is downhill. That difficult email, easy. That awkward conversation, no problem. That workout, already done something harder. Your action step, identify your dragon. The one task that makes you want to procrastinate, avoid, or distract yourself. Tomorrow morning, first thing, slay it. 1 hour. No distractions. Just you and your fear. Stay with me on this one. It's metaphorical but powerful. Peterson talks about the archetypal story of rescuing your father from the underworld. What does that mean? It means reclaim the wisdom and strength of those who came before you.
Go build something beautiful out of your chaos. You got this. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a decision. Decide today that you're done wasting your potential and start with one small act of discipline. The person you're meant to become is waiting on the other side of your excuses.